Hi everybody, welcome back to our series of videos, Beginner Patchwork. In this segment, I'm going to talk to you about the Dresden plate. Now, you look at this, and this is a wall hanging we have here in the shop, and you'd think, that's really, I think, a little bit advanced for me. But in actuality, it's not. And I'm going to show you how this is a really fun and easy project to take on. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hi everybody, welcome back to Kilbora Quilt Shop. We're going to do another tutorial today, a quick one, on a beginner quilt that's fun to do yet looks really complicated. And that quilt is the Dresden plate. Now here I've made up a Dresden plate, and for those of you that have visited the shop, we have a wall hanging with 4 Dresden plates hanging over by the wood burning stove, and so you're familiar with it. The Dresden plate is easy because first all you need to do is grab a charm pack, a 5-inch charm pack. Moda has a great selection of charm packs and you can do that. And the next thing that you need is the easy Dresden ruler. And it's a ruler that looks like this. And it's simple to use, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So the first thing we do is we take out our charm square. Now here I have a charm square, and I have it on this nifty little mat here, which makes it easy to cut while at my machine. Now what you have here are measurements. You have a 1 inch, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, all the way up to 8 inches. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 5-inch one. So the 5-inch line is right across here. And I'm going to lay this ruler down so that the 5-inch line is right across the top and the ruler ends right here. Okay, so I'm going to get as close to the edge as I can. So I slide it over this way, and I'm going to take that now and I'm going to cut. And I'm going to pull this aside. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn my mat, and I haven't touched the ruler. I'm going to put it back here, and I'm going to trim now from the right side. There. And I've done 2 squares back to back here. So I'm cutting 2 at the same time. Now I have 2 what I would call blades right there. And these are going to be put together, but I want to show you now. I have the remainder of my 5-inch square, so at first it was this way. Now we're going to turn it and we're going to cut it that way. So I'm going to turn the fabric back towards myself. Working with these small little mats is super handy because you can turn them as you're working rather than moving your fabric piece. The less you handle your fabric, the better. So now I've placed that, and I'm going to cut again. This is scrap. So now we have 4 blades cut. Now, how do we go from this to this? Let's see. We're going to take this blade and we're going to fold it in half right sides together. Okay? And I'm going to just finger press that shut. I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to start at the folded edge. I'm going to use my stiletto here to help me guide this fabric through. Once again, really work at chain piecing, folding it right side together. For those of you that are not sure what chain piecing is, it's when you don't break your thread. You create a chain and you butt your pieces up one right after the other. And you'd be amazed at how fast you could piece a quilt doing it that way. So now we have both of our wedges done. Now, this is the tricky part. Pay attention. Don't want you to miss it. Right here, where the fold is, I'm going to take a little nip. Do you see that? And I'm going to open up my seam on the top of this blade right, like that. So I've opened that up. Now, hang on, here we go. I'm going to flip that inside out. Now, if you're very careful, in the ruler package, you do get a wooden dowel that has a wooden point, so you don't go through your fabric, which is really great. So I'm using my scissors, but I'm being very careful not to puncture a hole in it. Now, I've pushed that out, and I would go over to my iron, and I would press that flat, making sure that it's even on both sides. Isn't that lovely? So then when you have a number of these put together, you start sewing them together. Now, here's another little tidbit. When you sew these together, sometimes, for whatever reason, and I'm not really sure why, your blades might be different lengths. Like this blade might be a little bit longer or shorter than the other blade. So it's important, don't match up here at this end, but match here at the top where your angle is. That's the most important place, because this is going to be covered by the circle that goes over it at the end when you apply it onto your background. So you take this, and we're going to go back to our machine with it pieced together here. Now, if you prefer to pin, you can pin these. I personally don't like to pin unless I'm doing big long pieces like rows together. Small pieces I prefer not to. It's just personal preference. So we're going through. I'm using my stiletto to guide that fabric to keep it nice and straight, and in we go. Let's see. And here we go. We have a lovely Dresden plate. And we would just go. And there would be 20 of these blades all in a circle to create the Dresden plate. Thanks for joining us. Hope you come back soon, and please subscribe and share with all your friends. Thanks. Bye-bye.